Artificial intelligence is moving fast, and it's changing everything. It's changing the world around us. Now, some people may say, that's great. Let machines do all the work, and all of us will just enjoy some more time off and longer weekends. That sounds great. But if you're like me and most people that I talk to in my surrounding, there is this question, this uncertainty. If AI does everything much better, faster, and cheaper than us, then what do we as humans still bring to the table? What is left for us? My name is Marlow Guttmann, and today I want to share a personal story. A story that I experienced with one of my mentees that started with a simple phone call, but ended with something much bigger. A shift in perspective that helped my mentee navigate through today's world of uncertainty. And I hope that it will also inspire and help you. It all started about a year ago. On a Sunday evening, my phone buzzed and I received a text message. It was very short and clear. "Hi Marlow, can we talk? I feel lost." It was my mentee, Christine. She's a very smart, driven, ambitious, and kind woman. She speaks 3 languages, graduated top of her class, and had sent out more than 70 applications to different employers. So on paper, you would think she would be a great talent. She would be a great fit for any employer. But unfortunately, reality looked different. Most of the companies, and now because I'm describing the situation and problem here, you may think, okay, wow, she probably got rejected quite often. But unfortunately, it was even worse. Most companies that she applied to didn't even send anything back. They completely ghosted her. And the ones that did reply only sent out those automated rejection letters that you just copy and paste in less than a minute, and that feel like a punch in the gut. Because I believe most of us here can resonate with it. This process of sending out applications, it takes time, it takes effort, it takes motivation. So of course it's devastating. And with every rejection that Christine received, her confidence started to crumble more and more. Now, later that evening, I finally got the chance to call her, to give her a call, and we had a very great and a very deep conversation. And there was one sentence in particular that she mentioned to me that really stuck with me. She said, "Marlow, I feel like I'm running a race against AI, that I just cannot win. If AI gets better at everything, then what is the whole point? Why am I doing all of this? Is it even worth it?" And it was at this moment that I realized the world that we live in today, all this rapid growth and change and this advancement, it is not just a technical question. It's more of a personal one. It's a question about our sense of self, our sense of purpose and belonging. So, before we now went or walked through her CV and tried to make slight changes here and there, I asked Christine something different. I said, "Christine, I want you to picture something." And this is when I introduced her to the concept that I call the 2 rooms. Imagine you're standing in front of 2 rooms. On one side, there's the technology room. In here, it's bright, it's buzzing, there are screens everywhere, and you're using tools like ChatGPT or others to your advantage, to get as fast as possible from A to B, from problem to solution. And of course, Christine also used this room to her advantage. She used it to draft application letters, to send out emails, and to research companies that may be a good fit to her. But the problem is, if you're stuck in this technology room for too long, what happens is that you start to drown out your own voice. It feels great in here, don't get me wrong, but there's certain things missing. What about creativity? What about critical thinking? Those skills can get lost if you're stuck in here for too long. Now, let's walk into the other room. This is what I call the compass room. In here, it's much more quiet. There's softer light, and in this room, you focus on all the questions that the technology room we've just been in cannot answer. What do I value? Who do I want to become? What is my path? What is my direction? In the technology room, it's all about efficiency, productivity. But in here, it's about your own voice and your direction. But if you're stuck in this compass room for too long, that's also not good, because you just focus on yourself and the world passes by and you end up standing in this room looking out the window. So that also doesn't help. So I was explaining this concept and the two rooms, and Christine interrupted me and she said, Marlow, really great story and great metaphor with those two rooms, but what do I do now? Which room do I choose? Where do I go? And I said, okay, fair point. I believe the real skill nowadays, in today's world, isn't choosing one room, just technology or compass. The real skill nowadays is knowing how and when to switch between them and how to combine them. Think of it like a switch. You can press technology if you need speed, if you need efficiency, or you press the compass button for direction. Now, what do you do when you feel like you're running a race against AI, that you can't win? And how do you make this switch? We focused on 3 aspects. And we started off with her inner values. So forget about job titles, forget about salary, just focus on what matters to you. This is what I asked her. And she thought about it for a while, it took her some time, but she came up with 3 values that were important to her personally. Learning, service, and community. Those were the ones that she mentioned. And from then on, whenever there was an opportunity in life, for example, she saw a great, fancy LinkedIn job offer, she checked if this opportunity aligned with those 3 values. And if it didn't, it was a simple no decision. Why? Because saying no to what doesn't align with your values opens up the door for saying yes to things that actually do matter and do align with your values. Second, we looked at her inputs. What was she feeding her brain with? What was she feeding your mind with? Because what you feed your mind with influences how you walk through life and how you see the world. If I would ask you here in the audience, the last 5 notifications that you received on your phone, would you be able to remember them? Because Christine couldn't. Her phone was full of noise, full of distractions. People sharing great success stories, people sharing their great accomplishments and great jobs and positions on LinkedIn. And on top of that, all these media headlines screaming, AI will take over jobs, especially entry-level positions. So all that noise, all that stuff made Christine even more anxious. So what did we do? We cut all the noise out. We removed certain applications, we turned off notifications, and even deleted some accounts that didn't add any value, and instead only added sources that were valuable to her, that boosted her confidence, instead of destroying it. She later on mentioned to me that this process, which took some time, by the way, to clean everything up, felt a bit like cleaning out a messy closet in her mind, which I found to be quite a vivid picture. Third, we focused on taking actions. And here, I don't mean a big master plan, but rather simple, tiny actions. that she could implement in her daily life. And she committed and she agreed that she would have one coffee chat or one lunch meeting each week with someone that she admired, with someone that she looked up to and that she wanted to learn from, because this was one of her values. Not to beg for a job or to network, but simply to build genuine human connection and a genuine human relationship. And taking those actions had a huge impact on her. Of course, in combination with focusing on her values and also her inputs. Because a few months later, we met again. This time, we had a meeting face-to-face in person. We met in a small cafe in Hamburg. And I remember at the beginning, my mood wasn't that well this day because it was raining very heavily. But then again, it always rains heavily in the northern part of Germany, in Hamburg. So, yeah, anyways. But my mood completely changed as soon as I entered the cafe, because Christine was sitting there and she was waiting already, and she had this big smile on her face, full of excitement. She lit up the whole room and couldn't wait to tell me what happened. And she said that actually one of those coffee chats that she had turned into an opportunity of shadowing a manager, doing an internship for a few weeks. And because they really got along and it aligned with her values, this internship then turned into a full-time position. And just because she got out there, she talked to people. This was something that no other AI or other tool could do. It was her commitment. But of course, this is something I have to add here as well. It wasn't that easy that you just had one coffee chat and immediately this opportunity popped up. She also mentioned to me she had a few other meetings the weeks before, some other coffee chats, and those didn't really have a big impact on her. And one person even canceled on her last minute. So at times, yeah, she felt discouraged and she wasn't even sure if taking those actions is really worth it. But she kept going. She pushed through, and in the end, it paid off. Now, why am I telling you all of this? What does it mean for your life? Because maybe you're not even job hunting like Christine did. But maybe you recognize this. Your phone feels like the perfect slot machine for distractions. I catch myself sometimes as well, late at night, lying in bed, doom scrolling through social media without any goal or purpose. It doesn't feel so great afterwards, but the algorithms are just getting too good. Maybe you're using AI tools like ChatGPT to be efficient, to be productive. And on the surface, it looks great. But on the inside, you somehow feel stuck. You feel lost and unsure of where to go. In a moment like that, why not take a breath and take a step back and think about the two rooms? Which room am I in? Do I want to focus on speed, productivity? Maybe I should walk into the technology room. But maybe in a certain situation, I need more direction. So maybe then I should walk into the compass room. There's so many things in life that we just can't control. We can't control the pace of AI. We can't control, most of the days, even our emails that we receive. And we can't control the economy. So why not focus on things that we can control, that are within our power, or how I like to call it, that are within our circle of influence. And those are your values, your inputs, and the actions that you take on a daily basis. Now, if there was only one thing I could leave you with here, it would be this. I genuinely believe that AI will benefit all of us. In the next years to come and the decades, there will be so many advancements for all of us, so we should take advantage of that, for sure. But on the other side, I also believe there are certain things that no AI could ever or should ever replace. And those are our values, our courage, our empathy towards others, and the human connections, the human relationships that we build. So why not focus on what makes us human? Thank you.